Hey, this is Corey from Wolfpack Woodcraft. And last week's book was How Your House Works. Now, I talked about how great and wonderful that book is and how if anything were to happen in my house, the first place I go to is this book. But after publishing that video, I started to think about 2020 and how hard it was for plumbers, electricians, carpenters to come into the home. We were locked down. We didn't have access to a lot of people or a lot of things. Down in Texas, there was a lot of people whose pipes were breaking, and so plumbers were backed up, and so you would put on a waiting list, and so you didn't have access to things right away. And so having basic information right at your fingertips that you can DIY or handle the situation for now until the professional comes is super important. And so this week I want to talk about 100 things every homeowner must know. How to save money, solve problems, and improve your home. Now this book is not going to be for everyone. I highly recommend How Your House Works. It's one of my favorite books. This one, not so much. So normally when you have 100 things or 365 things, there's like a little tiny paragraph of every single thing, and so you get 100 little quick tips usually. This is not that book. So this book is like how to install wire shelves, and this is 2 whole pages of information. The next one, replace a light fixture. This one is 3 whole pages of information. The most smarter, 2 whole pages. Most everything in this book is 2 to 4 pages. Fix a toilet is again 4 pages long. Unplug a toilet, stop leaks under the sink. Again, a lot of information. Fix an outdoor faucet. A lot of information on every single topic. Most things in here are at least 2 pages. Some are 3, some are 4 pages long. There's a lot of really good pictures. Cut remodeling costs. And so you can see there's a lot of big pictures. It's easy to see what's going on. There's a lot of information on each topic. The problem is, if you didn't pick up on it already, is the information in here is very basic. Okay, it's very beginner. Like if you just bought a home, this book would be awesome. But for somebody like myself who's lived in this house for 6 years now, most of the things in this book I have already taken care of, or they don't pertain to me. Right? There were a few things in this book that I was like, oh, I never thought about that, but again, I did it a different way. The way in the book would have been easier. I wish I would have had it before I started the project, but the project's already done. My walls are already painted, my toilet's already replaced, my faucets are replaced, my sinks aren't leaking anymore. I have everything taken care of. And so for me, this book really doesn't do much for me. And so again, if you're somebody that lives in a home, you have your own home, and you've lived there for quite a long time, I don't recommend this book. I probably only give it like a 5 out of 10 for somebody that's already lived in their home, because most of the stuff in here is just common knowledge to you by now. But where this book shines, where it really does, where I find it's very important, is if you know somebody that just bought a home. It's a first-time home buyer. They just bought a house. This book is perfect, because if they just go through one tip at a time, if they start at tip 1 and go like even tip 4, push a button, save $100. It talks about the GFCI outlets, how to find them, what they do, how to make them work. And so if the power in the bathroom goes out, right? You just push the little button. Moisture got inside the outlet, tripped the GFCI. You just push the button. You don't need an electrician. You don't got to call anybody for help. It's all those little things that are common sense to us. Like we've dealt with them, we've handled them, we know about them. But for somebody that just got started, right? They haven't owned a home before. There's a lot of people whose parents have only rented, and they are buying a home, so they don't even have the experience passed down to them. This book is awesome. What I wish I would have had this book before I bought this house, because going through the outlets and checking for roof damage and keep crooks out and roll paint right and pick a paint color you love. All these tips and tricks would have saved me a lot of headache a long time ago. The other thing that I like is like installing wire shelves. If I know how to do that, if that's something that I think about before I buy the house, when I walk into a laundry room and I'm like, you know, this could really use some wiring shelving, I know what it's going to take to do that. I know if that's a project that I can handle, or if it's just, you know what, maybe I should go somewhere else and look for something else to purchase. If there's a lot of broken light fixtures, right? A lot of people don't even look at light fixtures when they're first buying their first home. They're so excited about the layout and the paint color and how the bathroom looks, and they're so worried about all these mundane things, you know, because they don't know what to look for. They don't know what's important and what's not important, and so they just focus on, is the carpet clean, you know what I mean? And so having this book and being like, okay, how to replace a light fixture, right? The fact that I can see, I need to look at light fixtures when I'm looking at homes to make sure that they are correct, to make sure that they are going to work, make sure that either one, I don't have to do this, or two, if the light fixtures are messed up, you can use that and understand that if I buy this for X amount of money, I still have to invest this much more money to fix the light fixtures, to get the wire racking shelves, to paint everything. You know, I kind of have an idea of what to look for, what it's going to cost, how much work it's going to go, if I can handle the work. And so, again, for somebody that owns a home, has their house all laid out, put together, this is not a book for you, not at all. For somebody that's just getting started, this is a perfect gift. If you know somebody that's about to buy a house, right here, link in the description box down below, pick up this book, give it as a gift. If you know somebody that's house shopping and they're looking into buying their first house, again, this is going to be perfect for that person, because again, it'll tell them exactly what to look for. Find your shutoff valves, okay? Most people, I didn't. When I bought this house, I never even paid no attention to the shutoff valves. If I had this book to look at beforehand, and I was like, oh, you know, I would have known that one of my shutoff valves is a pain in the butt to get to, because I would have looked for it. You know what I mean? And so it's those little things that we don't think of because it's just common knowledge. It's not so common when you're first getting started. So with that being said, leave any knowledge or questions in that comment section. If you have any DIY books or house related books that you really enjoy, leave it in the comment section. I'm always looking to have as much information inside my home. I don't like relying on the internet. I like having the information right here in front of me. Nothing can happen to it. And so leave book recommendations in the comment section, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.